Hi everybody, how are you doing? Well, in our last video, we saw how to build conditionals 1, 2, and 3. So just a fast reminder, we have 4 types of conditionals in English. We have pseudo and first conditional to talk about real things that can happen, that is probable that they happen. And we also have second and third conditional for hypothetical or unreal situations that I imagine. So we said that there are 2 clauses within a conditional. We have the if clause, the condition, and the result, what will or would happen depending on the if. We also said that there is no difference. I can choose if something will happen or something will happen if. The only important thing, which is something very small that we usually forget, and it's a big mistake in English, in writing English, is the comma. When I begin a sentence with if, I always need the comma. However, when I begin the sentence with the result clause, I don't need the comma. Good. So we said that zero conditional is the one about truths, about general facts, is the one dealing with science, and its form is present, present. If you heat ice, it melts. If you do this, something happens. For sure, right? Always like that. First conditional. Well, we talk about first conditional with this example. If it rains, I will stay home, or if it rains, I may stay home, or I may go to cinema, or I may visit my grandparents. So we said that first conditional is used to talk about the future, about things that are possible, because it's possible that it rains, that the first part, the if clause, is probable, and the second part dependent. If I use will, it means that I'm sure about what will happen, and if I use may or might, it means that I have different choices, that I have different things to do. The structure is present simple, if present simple, and then will, or may or might, plus an infinitive, of course, because will, may, might are always followed by an infinitive. Second conditional. Second conditional is not anymore about things that are possible or things that happen, that usually happen. It's more about things that are unreal, that I'm imagining. We said if I won lottery, I would buy a house, or I could travel around the world, or I would donate lots of money. So we said that is to talk about the future. I'm imagining something about the future, something that is not very probable. It might happen, right? I can win lottery, of course, but it's very, very difficult. Sometimes we use it to give advice, like if I were you, si fuera tú. And this is, of course, is impossible. I can't be you. But anyway, it's about the future, things that you would do in the future. And the result clause, the would clause, is what you would do because you have thought about that for hours and hours, so you're sure. The structure, if past simple, and then was the past of will, would. So would plus infinitive again. And today we are dealing with third conditional. If I had studied harder, I would have passed the exam. How many times have you thought this? I guess that quite a bunch of them. So are we talking about past, present, or future? If I tell you this, si hubiera estudiado, habría aprobado. That's definitely the past, right? Is it real or imagine? Imagine, completely imagine. You don't know, you're dreaming, you're making up reality because you don't know and you didn't study and you didn't pass. So you are imagining a different situation in the past. But of course, nobody knows what will have happened, right? We don't know what will have happened. So very important, how do you feel when you say this? Oh, if I had started harder, I would have passed the exam. How do you feel? Are you happy? Or do you feel regret? Arrepentimiento, regret, definitely. So in Spanish, I always explain you that this is the easy. Easy, hubiera hecho easy, easy, easy. And all these easies in English is third conditional. So the form of third conditional. The past of the past simple is past perfect, remember? And the past of would is would perfect. So think, if we said that zero conditional is present present, first conditional is present will, second past would, so now it's one step backwards. Had done, so past perfect, and would have done. If I had studied more, I would have passed the exam. And again, instead of would, you can use could, like a conditionality. So a fast reminder of past perfect. Past perfect is always made by two things. Had, for whatever person you're talking about, and the past participle. And remember that the past participle for regular verbs is just adding the ed, super easy, played, studied, whatever. And for irregular verbs is the third form, is the third column. Careful with this. Taught, left, came, done, gone, lots of them. Review them if you hesitate, but please, it's a big mistake to write an irregular verb as a regular verb. And then would or could plus have, and have is always followed by a past participle. And this is the easiest part because they never change. No matter the person, no matter the tense, is what it is. It's everything is done, right? It's already done, so don't worry. Remember, for impossible things, imaginary situations in the past, and always with this feeling of regret, easy, right? Our Spanish easy. And here we have, do you remember this guy in the other video, in the second conditional? Right, back then, he was dreaming and doing something in the present. So he said, oh, if I had more money, I would buy a house. But now, right, he's thinking about this, and this happened last year. He couldn't do that, right, because he didn't have money. So he's thinking about last year. He's thinking about the past, and he says, if I had had a lot of money, I would have bought a big house. Si hubiera tenido mucho dinero, me habría comprado una casa grande. But he didn't buy it because he didn't have the money. So he's imagining, but he doesn't know. And regarding wishes, ojalá, we also have a form for past wishes. And it's like in third conditional, is with past perfect. I wish I had had a lot of money. I wish I had passed the exam. I wish I had bought that house. But, well, we'll have another video for this. So here you have different situations. And I want you to stop the video, write the third conditional sentences, and then check. So we have this guy here who got late to the exam, so of course he failed. They didn't see the sign, and they fall on the cliff. She was sick, so she couldn't go to the ballet. And he was talking on the phone, so wow, his dinner burned out. Stop the video, do them, and then check. And what about you? What mistakes have you made recently? For instance, this girl didn't get up on time, so she got late. And now she thinks, if I hadn't got up late this morning, I wouldn't have been late for school. So write your own ones. And this is the structure. If I had or hadn't done something, I would or wouldn't have done another thing. And here you have even more activities to practice. And the answers. Be careful with this double T, with this irregular verb, with would, wouldn't. Be careful with those things. Here, there are more examples. And this is the summary. Last day we worked on these three, and today we have added the last one. It's called impossible because it talks about the past, and we cannot change the past.